This is going to be a very important card in this game. Alright, before I continue. He discarded Sky Scourge Noleras to summon Dark Grepher. Then used Dark Grepher's second effect, sending King the Scarlet Servants to send White Prince from the deck. In turn, sending these two. Because he's playing Sky Scourge Noleras, I'm assuming he's playing Phantom of Chaos, because nobody summons Sky Scourge Noleras. It's usually just coupled by Phantom of Chaos. So he's playing a Phantom of Chaos with Sky Scourge Noleras for obvious reason. If you read the card, it's like, oh. And Skull Servants. As far as him summoning this Lavalval chain, let's back up a little bit. He had a Dark Grepher out, and he summoned that in defense mode. I can understand why he did that, because he doesn't know what I'm playing. So he's trying to be safe. He special summoned the Dark Grepher, and then discarded his king to send the White Prince, to send the two other things. Then he summoned his Zombie Master. I did nothing to any of that stuff. I would have at least attempted to attack with the Dark Grepher and the Zombie Master. At least. Or even if he didn't want to go that far, he could have just attacked with the Dark Grepher and then made phase 2, summoned the Zombie Master, then made Lavalval chain. Now, as far as him just going past all that and summoning this Lavalval chain in defense mode, the reason I activated this Veiler was because it kind of sort of acted as a Phoenix chain. Since he already put in defense mode, I wasn't taking 1800. And it was because I actually had the card. If I didn't have Veiler, I wouldn't have played Phoenix chain on it. You see my field right now. This Phoenix chain is really, really important. And so is this Refreshing Wind. So they have to stay out, and I want to play the Phoenix chain on something that I consider important. If I didn't have Phoenix chain and I only had Veiler, I probably would have let it go. So as I said a few moments ago, this card is very important because I feel like a card like Refreshing Wind, you want to have immediately. Unfortunately, I did have it. He had 2 cards left in his hand. I didn't know if they were spaced or not. And I didn't want to fall victim to a in-hand, in-phase MST because you would more than likely activate this during your opponent's turn and then activate it again on your turn, you know, getting 2 searches off. But because I rely on this card so much early on based on my hand, I didn't want some random shit happening to this card, so that's why I did what I did. So I searched Jasmine, summoned Jasmine, and since I'm at lower life than my opponent, I gained 500 off of this. This is very, very important. At least I think so. I draw a card, which was Jar of Avarice, which is shitty. I activate Garden. I gain another 5, basically paying for the Refreshing Wind. And now, straight out of nowhere, not really, but he immediately activates Lavalval Chain's effect. So I feel like, you know what? I'm going to just activate Refreshing Wind's effect and search Jasmine. And he puts it in attack mode. And he's going to attack. And before he attacks, I, activate it, since I'm at lower life, to gain 5, draw a card, and then he sets, eventually, his Magical Merchant. And as you see what I'm doing, because I need to have lower life than my opponent to gain the 5, I summon this and activate this to draw a card, which was Veiler. Then I activate this to gain 500. Because I'm at higher life than my opponent, Kananga kicks in. It drops on my opponent's monsters by 500 attack and defense, while Garden actually boosts them because I activated the effect, and it doesn't just count monsters currently on the field, it counts them throughout the turn. The only thing that this did was made sure that Lavalval Chain can no longer bully Jasmine. And then I attack Magical Merchant. There was that Phantom of Chaos I was talking about. Now, this is when I talk about Magical Merchant. It's not even the fact that this card has the effect that it does. It's not even the fact that it's a flip effect, which requires you to set it, and then ideally your opponent attacks it, because it's on their turn, you get the card now, and then when your turn comes around, you get another card, which is typically good. But the problem I have with Magical Merchant is this. You have to build your deck around this card. You have to build your deck around it, and you have to hope your opponent does not have any other way to kill it besides attacking into it. And because of that, you cannot play a whole lot of spell and traps. I'm assuming based off of this one burial and he have one card left after drawing the fader, this is the only spell that he plays. The thing with Magical Merchant is that it forces you to play shit like this, and you're more subject to losing to your own deck. So it seems as if he was relying on hopefully having the burial at higher than the third card to last. And I'm not a fan of playing a deck that relies on a flip effect card. Now, counting all of the Skull Servant related cards in here, if he would have summoned a Skull Servant, it would be 11,000. I have Effect Veiler and Fiendish Chain. And then every subsequent Skull Servant would have been 1,000 points less. And then on top of that, I have the Garden. When one dies, I get to gain 1,000. I have this, because I'm at lower life than my opponent, I'll gain 500. I also have Juragito that gains me another 1,000. So even if he had Mizuki, he probably wouldn't have won. And this is when Magical Merchant can, and more than likely, does go wrong. I just don't think that the card is worthy of being built around. So on that note, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I appreciate it. If you would like to support me in some form or fashion, all I ask is you spend literally seconds out your day and click an advertisement. Money goes towards rent. I'll be grateful, appreciative, and I'll say thank you very much in advance if you can find some time to do that.